We read in prophecy about mortal nations during the first 1,000 years that will need to be instructed, comforted, and sometimes judged. That is the job of those who were in the first resurrection. We will be priests and we will govern with Jesus in his kingdom. When looking at the timeline of events, Satan will be bound in prison during the first 1,000 years of God's kingdom. It is only after the 1,000 years and after Satan is released and then thrown into the lake of fire that the rest of the dead people are raised to face judgment. Some will be found to have their names in the book of life and will be allowed to enter the eternal kingdom, and others will not. And their destination will be the lake of fire where they will be destroyed. And please note, though, that they are not tortured forever, as many teach. Revelation 20:12 through 15 says, "Then I saw the dead, the great and the small, standing before the throne. Then the books were opened, and another book was opened, the book of life. So the dead were judged by what was written in the books according to their deeds. The sea gave up the dead that were in it, and death and Hades gave up the dead that were in them, and each one was judged according to his deeds. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death, the lake of fire. If anyone's name was not found written in the book of life, that person was thrown into the lake of fire." And remember that this death is complete and total annihilation, no suffering, and it is permanent. This judgment does not end in condemnation for all people. It is a pronouncement of judgment according to the lives they lived. The righteous judge will consider their lives and what they did and how they lived according to their life's record in the first books. According to the passage, this is not a time for a second chance or a time to repent. It just recounts your life. It is not a judgment based on faith. It is sentencing based on how you lived with what you knew. We have one life to live, and it determines our eternal destiny. This passage says that there are two sets of books that are opened. One, a record of these people's lives, and two, the Lamb's book of life. All these people will be reminded of their life and then will find out if their name is in the book of life because of how they lived and what they knew. This is the wider hope, meaning that those who did not have a chance in their life, no matter how long or how short it was, they still have hope for life in the kingdom. How they lived their lives is what Jesus looks at, and it is what determines if their name is in the book of life or not. When the last person is judged, death and the grave are thrown into the lake of fire, meaning that there will never be death again, as we see in Revelation 21, 1 through 4. We must trust Jesus that he will make the right judgment. I don't think we will find ourselves arguing with Jesus about who he let in and who he condemned to the second death. He is the righteous judge. He understands humanity because he is human. When accepting this truth, we can have peace. We do not have to play judge now and try to determine who will be granted life and who will not be granted life in the second resurrection. We do know that those who choose to live a life as cowards, unbelievers, detestable persons, murderers, the sexually immoral, and those who practice magic spells, idol worshippers, and all those who lie, their place will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur.